Yeah.
You and all your tabs. You and your fucking tabs again.
Jesus Christ.
One of these days.
Tabs and tabs and tabs.
I have another browser with even more tabs.
Oh, you always do.
Yeah.
You should just get like 5 computer screens, like just all over the place, all over around you.
And one on my phone, my watch. That's just.
And then you've got like
tabs.
4 different internet browsers open and like 4 quadrants of the screen, and all of them have multiple tabs. And then you like handcuff me to the chair, and you're just like, look at all the tabs. Just look. That would be like my nightmare. And then I hear giggling from ghost children, like
instead of an even number, making an odd number of tabs.
Oh yeah, not a fan of that.
And then you try and click it off, and then it freezes.
Or it does the brick roll. Have you guys experienced that? Where like you click on an email and all of a sudden this window pops up and it's like the brick roll, yeah. Like it's like you can't
never gonna give you up. That's a literal nightmare you just described.
Yeah, handcuff me to the chair, ghost daddy. Yeah, I've never heard that sentence. I've never heard that sentence in my life.
Paranormal activity. You know, we were talking parapsychology last time.
Yeah.
And I think this week it definitely comes into super reality for sure. Mercury at the tail end of Aries coming into Taurus is wicked awesome, and also paranormal AF and kind of scary. Yeah. What do you guys think about like that 29-degree apex into 0 Taurus?
Dun, 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 dun.
Which is actually gonna happen on Tuesday, I believe.
What time of day?
No, it's gonna happen tomorrow.
Like early in the day or
oh, you know what?
Tuesday?
Like 5 in the afternoon.
Oh.
Go Mercury. Go Taurus. It's your birthday. Go Taurus. It's your birthday.
Well, I think it's gonna be awesome because I feel like there's gonna be it'll be almost like a surge of what you might say is like natural reality, and just feeling like everything kind of like sets back into place again. And then this shift where I think the paranormal experiences you're talking about, they're going to be happening through insane telepathy between other people that are in relationships. And I feel like it's also going to be happening in situations where you normally feel like you're in a routine. You feel like you're locked in a routine and you're always doing it and everything's just kind of as is. It's almost like in the stories where there's like a character, they tend to be someone who's very driven by routine. And then one day this magical thing happens. It's kind of like that. It feels like there'll be all these little small miracles, small synchronicities, but at the same time, they're pointing to this larger quest that wants to take you out of where you're comfortable. And so I think we'll be receiving as well a lot of information on that. A lot of people talking about how you can start to break free from the norm. There's probably going to be a lot of advertisements that, you know, use that technique of talking about how you want to step out of the mundane. Because you can't always convince people to want a product, but you can always show people that, you know, if their life is boring, that there's something better than being bored, you know? So I think there's going to be a lot of that.
You're a boring person.
Yeah, don't be boring.
Stop being boring.
Yeah.
Be unboring.
Yeah, let the spirit children into your home.
Yeah, except for that last part. Besides that, yeah.
Jax is so scared.
Well, I mean, it's a very reasonable, that's not irrational. If there's like, I could understand if it was like, I'm scared of ghost caterpillars or something, because that would be irrational, because caterpillars can't hurt you even if they're not a ghost. But when it's ghost children, they can have little grudges. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I don't like when you want vengeance on anything.
Little tiny hands and feet.
Stop. That's enough. I don't like that.
Just cries all day.
Have you ever listened to Coast to Coast, where the people call in with their stories about like their experience with ghost children?
What?
Right now.
With the black eyes.
No.
You should listen to it.
Maybe I should.
I thought you said black guys. Yo.
They hold grudges. Brittany agrees with you.
Yeah, I'm just not about that. I don't like that.
It's not about that.
Jax has like when he gets married and has kids, he's gonna be like, "We're not hold a grudge." Like,
Yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna be a good dad. So I'm gonna that's one of the reasons I'm gonna be a good dad is specifically so if something happens, like I'm in the clear. There'll be a very ghost whisperer kind of vibe, much more like pleasant. That's what I'm looking for out of life.
he's gonna be like,
yeah, Kim, you're gonna have nightmares tonight. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Say Sarmilan, the ghost whisperer.
I've been watching today because I was kind of like trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. But I asked my guys, I was like, is it like the fairy folk fucking with me? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. But then I decided to watch.
Oh, well, if they're fairies, that's not scary. Okay.
Yeah. So then I decided to watch ghost stories about nurses and their experiences at hospitals and the hauntings and all this stuff. And there was like one with like a child. It was haunting a hospital.
Why would you want to hunt a hospital as a child?
Well, it was okay. This hospital is like somewhere in Massachusetts. So when the whole what is it? I think it was the what kind of like happened over there. Anyway, they were experimenting on kids like with medicines to try to cure them from God, what illness was that? God, I forgot.
Polio?
Polio, yeah. And then they were experimenting on these kids, and these kids didn't survive the experiment.
How did you know?
So it was.
Well, it would have to be like what, tuberculosis or polio?
Yeah.
There was a very limited window where we kept just experimenting on children.
Yeah.
That was not a good move.
So there was a little kid that every time he would go into the nurse would see the kid, like the nurse was like highly clairvoyant. And every time she would experience the child, he would be running down the hallway and run into a room of a patient. And the next day, the patient would be like gone, like dead. And so she's like, this little fucking demon child.
Yeah, it's so weird, Jax. Why are you scared of ghost children? Well, I don't know. Maybe because every time they show up, you die. Like, Ari, have you considered that the clock stopped and that 8:45 is your time of death? And that this is your continuing. Like, have you considered that? Because, like, I don't think so because I'm me, but, like, it might be. That's something that you would say in your own head is that.
Sorry.
That's all I'm saying.
He's like, have you considered? No.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Be open-minded. That's it.
No. But that'll be interesting if it does happen that way, you know? Whatever. Death is only the beginning.
Lucid Mystic. Ghost children are friends. Yeah, that's...
Children of the corn!
I'm sure the majority of them are great. But the ones that aren't make the rest look really bad. You know? That's all I'm saying. Michael, chime in here.
Ebony Rose says she's hysterical because she's in denial. Not really, because I was taught about death in a very young age. I experienced it. I experienced many exit points, so I'm not afraid of it.
Oh, she said second.
What?
Nah, nothing. I'm going to segue to the weekly element. We can get into the
oh yeah, that's right. We have things to do.
I'll do earth and water.
Ooh.
I'll do air.
I'll do fire.
Wait. Thank you, Lucid Mystic. You know I got you. I'm gonna start with the earth actually. What's up, Taurus? What's up, Capricorn? What's up, Virgo? I already feel a lot of y'all are looking at the rest of the other zodiac signs like what the hell? They were already crazy, but what's going on here?
Yeah.
What the? This is unprecedented, but nothing we never saw coming. But yeah, honestly, congratulations, Earth. You're ready to. Okay, let me carefully word my words, but let's say all you Earth signs have been investing years ahead of everyone else, so you're cashing out like never before. You diversified your bonds.
Diversified.
Oh yes. And
Stocks are going up.
oh, are they?
Yeah, ours are the ones that we purchased.
Shoop. We got the Three of Pentacles, so it's a teamwork situation for you, Earth. In fact, this is Mars in Capricorn, yep. And some of you are learning about employment and how to manage employees. Some of you are employees learning to like work with management and other employees. But this is even deeper because I feel like you're going to really put this week alone is going to allow you to establish important projects that really just get everyone involved, paid really good money, but it's less about the money and more about like the development of the skills y'all are gonna really come into. Yes, Lucid Mystic boss mode. So yeah, so for Taurus, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Not even surprised because we got these conjunctions. So this is like, to me, like an epiphany and a $1 million idea, or just like brand new direction. Boss mode activated. I like how Lucid Mystic said it for sure. Definitely like contributing new ideas, and if it was just the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like it would just be a new business idea. But the Ace of Swords is like what to do with it, or like a bright idea surrounding it, which is a very lucky Virgo. We actually have you, the Master. This is literally your card, and comes with the Death card. So this this is very transformative. I see you mastering death for sure. Some of you might become like secret assassins or agents, and like uh ever since Neptune and Pisces, a lot of Virgos have simultaneously had to practice splitting awareness between the real world and the spirit realm. And now you're coming into completely whereas let's just say you probably started off fully in the real world, and then your awareness has been split from real to spiritual realm, and now you're actually killing off that like real world energy and getting ready to step into this spiritual realm awareness, which isn't necessarily perceptible through your senses, but it's going to allow like a whole different experience. But this week is about like taking everything you've mastered about living in this life and venturing in forth a whole new reality. I see the death for you Virgos like the end of everything as you know, but you actually killing it too. Capricorn got the Five of Cups. Yeah, this card couldn't escape. And Judgment. Ooh, yeah, this is like a grand finale. Telenovela vibes. This is interesting. Um, this could even resurrect. Yeah, Colby's right. Ghost children are coming. This could even like resurrect certain old beef or like old energy for to fully be resolved. Um, and for many of you Capricorn, what's blocking awakening for many of you is some deep sorrow. There's a facet of you that's disappointed for dropping the ball, or like failing at something, and it's blocking your awakening. So Pluto's gonna blast through it, even if it has to like push your buttons so that you fully resolve it. So next we got water, and whereas Earth just seems to be more tired with the rest of the zodiac than they already usually are, water doesn't even care about the rest of us. Water found some like new oasis. I think Pisces ventured into a whole new world and gave Cancer and Scorpio the hookup, and they're like, screw these losers, we're out of here. They don't even know. We're not even here in social situations. We're pretending to listen to you guys, which is wise. It's amazing because, you know, we would just corrupt your waters anyway. But we do have the, which is really messed up to say, but we do have the Page of Wands. Water, you're coming into some very exciting energy, and the reason why it's exciting is it's because it's individual and it's your own spark. It's something that water signs have had to go through this weird dynamic where everything they create, everyone just comes up and takes pieces of their pie. Like, you owe me this even though I didn't help you make it. And so like you're finally stepping into like your own spark, which is just like so amazing because you know that no one can really take this from you because they don't even know you really have it, because you've just been like sitting on a gold mine. But yeah, so Cancer, we have the I think I'm in love because the sex was so amazing card, and also the Six of Swords, which is very this really makes it kind of amazing. It's like you're sailing away from like negativity and you're coming into bliss, Cancer. You really deserve it. You're really leaving a lot of bullshit.
Good job, Cancer.
Yeah, it's gonna be in every area of your life this week. Positive future, especially for those of you talking to people long distance, you know. And so we got Scorpio, and for Scorpio we got the Ace of Swords, hack and slash. This is what we got for Taurus, splash. That's crazy. And instead of the Ace of Wands, or they got the Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. So Scorpio, you're coming into a very grand original thought and idea. I was going to say you're coming into a grand realization, but the words original thought came into my mind, and it's just going to change everything for you super quickly, and just expedite and speed things up. This could be a revolutionary idea that makes your work easy, but I feel like this is just I think it's just time for you to upgrade, and you're just going to get the idea of how. And Pisces, look at that, everyone is still on your dick, and we have the the Justice card. So this time you're gonna have legal protection. So like now you can just hit people with subpoenas, or you can just hit people with legal documents. Like, now you have to get off my dick, or I'm gonna sue you.
I'll see you in court.
That checks out.
Yep. Some of you may need to get restraining orders. But other than that, justice is also for some of you. Pisces have been coming up with the revolutionary ideas, but people are just too afraid to believe in you because they're just scary. They're just scaredy cats. And so now the Justice card is like, okay, well, I just got legal proof that I was right. You try to say I was delusional, even though I'm smarter than all of you fucks. And now I have legal documents proving it to you idiots. And now you can get off my dick. Thank you very much. Boom. And no one can take that away from you because, like, you did that, Pisces. It's amazing. I'm complete.
Well, looks like we are now on to air then. And for the air signs, starting with Gemini. Best sign in the zodiac.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Just joking, but that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're obviously the second best sign. So
Oh,
first one's Libra. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. First one's Libra.
oh my
So
God. Hey, I'll
first,
take
what we
that.
have for Gemini is the sun. So the truth is being revealed. Even like the truth of being the second best sign. Just kidding. But as far as the sun, it shows that it's time for you to look at everything that's really in front of you, because deep down you already know exactly what's in front of you. And there's part of you that is trying to create this whole like, oh, like I'm not sure about this. I don't know how I'm going to go about this. But none of that's really relevant. It's just a matter of, are you going to do it or are you not going to? Like, and just be honest with yourself about that. And then the 8 of Wands says, if you do that, even for the small things, it starts to put you in this other mindset where you're able to start aiming for something that you actually deserve, and to no longer feel that you have to be sort of held back by particular moments in your life. That there's no moment that's too stressful for you to be like, well, I still do deserve to aim higher, because, you know, that's what you deserve. Like, that's what you're capable of. And confusion is never an excuse, you know?
Never.
And then for Libra, Libra starts off with 9 of Cups. So let yourself experience wishfulness and hopefulness and stop blocking it. Stop blocking it, especially when other people, Queen of Cups, are telling you that you need to turn away from what it is that you're assuming, or that it's unrealistic. Because the truth is, like, what we decide to ingest is like what we decide to put out into the world. What we decide to think about and fixate on is what it is that we start to bring into our reality in a very real way. And if we don't let ourselves just enjoy the miracle that we've just experienced, the only alternative is essentially just slowly kind of poisoning ourselves with apathy and like letting the results of that just, you know, take its course. And the best case scenario is it leads you into nowhere. And so it's like, just let yourself, you know, make a wish. Let yourself even believe that it might happen, because believing in it is part of what makes it possible in the first place. And then for the Aquarians, Aquarians have 10 of Wands. So you need to get real right now about not being too busy to make a wish or to believe in something. You need to simplify your schedule as quickly as you possibly can, because if you're carrying unnecessary weight, then when you hit the moon, you'll be under the impression that you're going through like a depression, or that your life is spiraling out of control, even though you're doing all the physical things in the physical world to make it successful. So don't rob yourself of what should be a really difficult to look at but really valuable lesson, and instead, you know, give yourself the opportunity by reducing all of the ridiculous non-essential things that are in your life right now. There's so many of them that are just purely for appearance, or just purely because it kind of feels like the idea of it feels really good for your lifestyle, but it's not bringing you any joy, and it's taxing your mental health. So when you hit this moon part and you start to think back to the past, that should be a positive experience, even if it's tough to look at them originally. It shouldn't be something that is like, you know, devastating or sets you into this dark phase where you have to keep thinking that that's the attitude you should have for the next 6 months. So it feels like all the air signs have serious opportunities right now, and all we really have to do is just be honest. Like, if we're just honest, then we can have all these incredible things. And if we decide to appear in a certain way instead, then, you know, we're going to be losing out on some pretty intense stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, Libra. Just be honest.
Hey, what? Why'd you point that at Libra specifically? I'm being honest.
All right. So fire sign. So the energy of the week is the Hermit card. But there's a good thing about this isolation, okay, or this period of contemplation. For Leo in particular, is a contemplation of the perfect partnership. There's going to be a lot of romance, potential for romance coming in this week for you Leos who are single. For you Leos who are taken, it's kind of like the strength of both of your energies combined to create something much more stable, either financial stability or possibly children. I feel like a lot of Leo women in particularly are going to be taking those steps that are necessary for them to feel secure in their relationships with their partners. For Leo men, I feel like you guys are going to definitely start to look at your partner in a different light, look at their strengths, looking at them as how they support you in your efforts to realize your highest potentials or your goals in life. You're gonna see this like, it's kind of like you're gonna be looking at them through like the understanding of their potential to assist you with your success, as well as with being there as a stable partner for you. Because a lot of Leo men tend to attract women who are kind of like unstable in some terms, where they are like, I don't know if I want you, I don't know if I need you, type of relationships. But it feels like now it's taking a turn where you are succeeding, therefore you need a partner who's not going to be finicky, who's not going to be that person that's going to just be like, oh, okay, you're wasting too much time at work, so I'm going to go ahead and leave, you know. So it feels like Leo men are definitely gonna attract the perfect partner for themselves, that is gonna be there for the best and the worst times. So that's what I get for this one. So the Hermit, playing it out in the Hermit's energy, it's really important for you to really dissect your relationship, meaning that what is it that this person is bringing to the table? Truly be honest with yourself so that you don't waste your time anymore and not waste their time either. For relationships that are not yet there, the same thing is kind of like you scrutinizing the potential of this relationship. Where is it going? How, like, is this going to be a good partnership in every aspect of your life, not just romantic, you know? And so there is just a lot to think about, Leo, and it's really, really important, because it feels like you guys are shifting to more of like, I'm gonna build this empire and I want my emperor or my empress with me, you know. So it's really, really awesome energy that you're gonna be stepping into. The next one is for Aries. You got the Knight of Swords. Slow the fuck down. Aries. That's what I heard, is like, slow down, it's okay, you know. But it's just, it feels like Aries, you're so determined to succeed. You just know exactly where you're going. The path is completely clear now. Before it wasn't that way. Before it was kind of like muddy. You couldn't understand what direction you were going, things like that. But now it's like, bam, like you have this self-actualization and you're just like, wow, I'm really like, this is where I'm headed. This is where I want to go. And so the Hermit's like telling you, okay, that's good, but let's make a plan. Okay, let's make sure that we plan it out. Let's make sure that where the path that you're choosing is going to be very beneficial and a long-term thing for you. Okay, Aries. So I feel like it's a very career thing. And it could be relationship as well, a partnership that's going to benefit you in the long run, meaning like 10 years, 20 years from now too. Okay, it's kind of like a increase of finances. It's like a slow, steady increase, not just like, bam, I just made a lot of money and now what am I going to do with it? You know, it's more like a slow and steady uphill thing for finances and for relationships. So because we are in Taurus season, slow and steady always wins the race for you in particular areas. So you're going to have to be a little bit reserved. You're going to have to make a plan. Okay, so that's what I have for Aries. The next one is for Sagittarius, and this is the Magician. So it's more about contemplation of what you are manifesting, Sagittarius, okay? The Magician has a lot of beautiful skills and powers because it combines all of the elements working together as one. But the Hermit brings you understanding of what you are creating at a deeper level, understanding beyond the superficiality of what you think you want. Why is it that you want that thing, you know? So it's more of like dissection. Again, it's like evaluation of like, this is what you have in mind to manifest, but why? What is driving you to want that? Why is it that you have chosen that path? Understanding that you have to make your mind up for yourself, not because someone is influencing you towards that goal. Okay, so this is what the Hermit wants you to know. Even though you're a powerful magician, you manifest instantly, Sagittarius, you have to understand why you are asking for the things that you're asking, okay? And be sure about them. And that's why the hermit showed up this week, so we could slow down and ask the proper questions, ask what our real motives are behind the things that we want to manifest. So that's what I have for you, fire signs.
Boom. And now we are going to step into the live readings. So we do have the link to Jax's website. And I think we have
so seductive sounding.
Thank you.
Jax's website.
Order now. Psh, psh. You know Jax, the guy with the random things on his desk as he pulls the cards. And also the guy with
Wait,
the...
what?
He's like,
What do I have? Random things on my desk while I'm pulling cards?
Actually astral projecting right now and looking what's all over your desk right now.
Oh.
If you gotta hide something, go ahead and hide it.
I have so many things I should probably hide then. Yeah, I've got like a bunch of exotic animals over here. So like no permits for any of them.
With your
Yeah, I've got like a little baby tiger.
Garg.
Oh my god. So who's first, guys?
I don't know, you tell us.
Okay. We're gonna be like that, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right.
What? You're the one that knows.
This is
What?
Just do it. Will you just do it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Maxine is first.
Okay.
Come on, what?
Welcome on
What?
down,
Finish
Maxine.
that thought. Finish that thought,
In charge
Ari.
of us mutables.
That's true. Yeah, no, actually, no, that's a good point. Okay, everybody. So first one we're going to be doing is Maxine. Maxine has a... Dun, 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 dun.
Not.
I believe energy scan. Okay, energy scan for Maxine.
Boom.
Okay. Maxine, are you here with us right now? Not in like a mediumship sense, just like watching YouTube. That's what I mean. Are you here with us, Maxine?
Exactly what
I need everyone to hold hands. That's not 1920s voice. I don't know. That sounded almost more like Christopher Walken. Like,
Wow.
needs some more cowbell.
not a good. I need more cowbell. I fucking love that skit. It's so funny.
Of course.
It was 2 weeks ago, Brittany. Last week we didn't do anything.
Yep. It's been a long time.
That means you guys are rushing. Stop rushing, okay? Just kidding.
It's such a good song.
Well, who wants to go first?
Well, since Maxine might not be here yet, let's go ahead and just we'll move on to the next one.
All right.
Microvinity. Microvinity is here. Also energy scan.
Energy scan. Be prepared to be felt up. Sorry, I had to say it.
I was just feeling everybody up out here. So Pisces, when it comes to legal action and people like getting away from you, just keep an eye out for Ari.
I have a Pisces moon, so.
That's still a Sagittarius. Still a Sagittarius. Yeah, but as many moons as you want. You can tell me about your Jupiter moons, and it's still not going to change anything.
Said, fill me up, Ari Lamau.
I just touched your hair.
Well, Heidi, that's because time is going slower. And ever since 8:45 this morning. Ari will tell you all about it, or you can rewatch the beginning of the video.
8:45 exactly.
She knows what's going on. It's all an illusion. We're in it. So.
Yes, we are.
Anyways, so microvinity.
She's here. She says, "Hey," hands like this.
Oh, I know. I was just scanning her. Yeah. I was just
Oh,
going
you
first.
are?
Yeah, I was just announcing her name as a way of saying like I will go. I wasn't questioning if she was here.
Oh.
That's okay.
Go ahead. Fill her up again.
Microvinity. I am Jax, and I am now getting started to scan you. Ari. Okay.
Right.
Still feel you, Ari.
Okay.
So, Micra, it's kind of like what we talked about yesterday, and to me, it's a little bit hard to pin down as far as what exactly it is causing it, but it definitely feels like this is something that does require going into the doctor for, because to me it's blood related, and to me it's about it's like not hydration level as in just simply drinking water, it's something else, possibly electrolyte related. And so a doctor would be able to help out by providing a test for that and just testing your levels right now. It just feels like something's deficient. It feels like something's deficient, and it's causing your blood to be like so thin. So anyways, that I'm feeling the same thing as yesterday. But it feels like it's a little bit better today, but it still feels like it's an issue.
So I see like a pink, like violet but pinkish like orb, solar plexus chakra. It's like in between the solar plexus to the heart chakra. So Micra, I think you want to ask your mother or your grandmother what secret juju or like what ancestral like abilities or powers that they are very aware you have had since birth and or has run in the line, because I don't think they're telling you. I'm really picking up visibly you're not aware of this, and it's attracting all sorts of spirits from and energies from people from all sorts of realms, and they want that. Some are unconsciously guided, some are consciously guided, and like you're so powerful, you're not really aware that you're unconsciously fending off these energies. And the way I'm picking this up is that it's something that now that you are of age, like you're activating, and like I think your mom or grandma just wanted to protect you and didn't tell you about this, and they have the abilities too. And like, yeah, but I visibly see like energies attracted to it, and not all of them are happy or good energies, and like you're just unconsciously handling them. Or maybe you're aware of this too, and you're wondering why it almost looks like I have something that certain people want. Yeah, you do. It's like a Shikon jewel, and it grants any wish, and you may not even know you're like on it on you might have a bounty on your head in the spiritual realm, and like you're just out here like unconsciously defending yourself against a lot of like high prime energies. So I'm also picking up too, Micra, maybe because this is all a part of like a high priestess path, or a path where, or like an exorcist path. And maybe once again, like your grandma or mom just didn't want you to go on that path. Maybe they wanted you to live a normal life. And that's why they didn't tell you this, because to be on this path, you're constantly interceding with spirits. You're constantly dealing with like, so like other people could look at you talking to spirits and be like, oh my gosh, crazy bitch. Like who is she talking to? But like, you're actually talking to like real entities. And so I think that's why your parents or your grandparents didn't tell you, because they didn't want you to, they want you to live like a normal life. But now you kind of have to like, I just ask them about it. Just ask them if there's anything about that they have to tell you, if they haven't already told you. But yeah, I hope that resonates with you. And Supreme Being, if that resonates with you too, that's you as well. I'm complete.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill you up a little bit. Just kidding. All right, let's see, Liz. Um, I'm also picking up kind of like circulatory system issues. Um, what I'm hearing is kind of like you have the more that you kind of like go on your journey with your pregnancy in particular, the more that you're gonna have these things come up. Uh, again, it feels kind of like in the root area, sacral. So your lower chakras seem to be affected by what's going on around you. I'm not sure if you guys are struggling with the environment that you're in, particularly kind of like the houses around you, the neighborhood, the complete, like the atmosphere is very, very thick, very kind of restrictive. I feel like you're physically feeling that, and it's kind of showing itself, especially because your emotions are involved. It's physically showing itself through these situations with your physical body, through having to deal with health issues, things like that. I keep hearing your guide say, you just want to leave, you just want to run, you just want to leave with your families, get the fuck out of there, you know. And it feels like you are holding in a lot of that emotion because it's like you really know that it's gonna happen, but you want it, you really, really desire it for it to happen now, of course, because you want to have a very beautiful and peaceful environment for your children and your future children to actually live in. I keep hearing finances it's a big issue too, and it's kind of like, you know, you have the ability to create the life that you want, but it's like right there at your fingertips. Like you feel it, things are going to change drastically, but because of the emotion behind wanting to leave and feeling like you're being restricted or held back from your realizing your dreams, things like that, due to, again, your environment that you're picking up on other people's actual emotions about their lives and things like that, it's actually giving you like you are absorbing that. Okay, so it's kind of like giving you like this sense of like, when is it going to happen, when is it going to happen to me, when am I going to have this already? And it's because you're feeling everyone else's anxieties, you're feeling their sense of like just being stuck. Okay, because you're not stuck, your family's not stuck, none of that's real. Okay, but you're absorbing that from people, you're actually healing that, you're transmuting it and things like that. So because of your delicate state right now, it's happening more. So it's really important for you to try to take action if you can. I know you guys are limited right now where you live because all these crazy orders about coronavirus and things like that. So it's kind of like just have a positive mindset that this is going to happen. You're going to move, you're going to find a beautiful place to live, and everything's going to be perfect. Okay, just keep don't lose hope. Okay, physically speaking, again, like Jack said, do go to your doctor. Continue to, if you have any aches and pains, any complaints, continue to you know, tell the nurses about that. Continue to do what your doctor prescribed, but you have to take it easy as well. Okay, make sure that you're not overstressing yourself. Make sure that you are sitting when you're tired. Okay, make sure that you're putting your legs up when you're exhausted, things like that. So circulatory system has to continue on. Okay, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of water retention, there's going to be a lot of things happening with discomfort in the hips and the lower like the legs, things like that, because of it. So just do your best, try to take it easy. Okay, that's all I have for you.
Beautiful. So next on our list is looks like Carolyn, then Robert, then Melanie.
Is Robert the never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Is Robert someone else?
No, there's this dude named Gisette Andrew. That might be
Jesus.
Robert.
It's possible. This has happened before. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. Brittany, you want to scan?
Oh,
You
it's
feel like you're
Spiritual
missing
Gorilla.
something?
So Gisette that said that he or she got the cosmic reading. Did you pick that up?
All I see is a channeled message from Melanie and one from Robert, besides Carolyn.
Gotcha.
I think I saw Maxine in here. I'm not sure if she's still here.
Okay. Let me refresh. Maybe there's just something that hasn't shown up. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Now after Melanie, then there's Alexandria, and then Zach, and then Gisette, and then Kim.
Oh
So,
wow.
Okay. So we've got a few more that have come in. Here we go. So for Carolyn, Carolyn, are you here?
Carolyn is here.
Got her earlier. Carolyn Courts.
Carolyn is here.
Awesome. So Carolyn, we've got an energy scan for you. Go ahead and start us off, Gemini.
No problem, sir. Second best zodiac sign reporting live.
Hey, no. Of course you're the first best if I die. You know that.
Oh, good to know. Do I also get your cool stuff too?
That's
Just for
correct.
today.
You get the Libra scales, you get the Libra scythe, you get the Libra everything.
God knows I need that. All right. Awesome. Well, oh snap. Well, I picked up more so. Usually I pick up like effects, but I picked up for you, Carolyn, white light that's beaming down your crown to your root. And maybe perhaps it seems to be transit based, and it's just purifying all your chakras. Purifying in the sense where it may well up throughout this week unexplored emotions. If you feel moody, or if you just feel like weird feelings pop up, that's actually just because they're clearing, and this is preparing to expand your ability to feel and sense. But throughout this period, I just see, and it doesn't even have to well up that, but I just see it clearing out, and not purging anything, but just like this white light, just, and then as an extension, others through you. But yeah, that's what I pick up. I'm complete.
For me, Carolyn, I saw this, like, what essentially felt like it was like this invisible staircase, and it was just like, it was off in this desert, like this very deserty area. It was a perfect starry sky, and it was like this staircase kept going up and up, and if you were to like spill paint on it, like it would be revealed like that it's basically going directly up forever. To me, it's like your way up is through being open. You know, there's like an open exploration element to it. There's nowhere to hide. There's no lows or highs. It's like the desert. It's purely open. And then, of course, the sky. It's endlessly open. So it's like explore creativity and explore your spirituality right now through openness and understanding. And anything that takes you in sort of a more narrowed path is something that's, you know, a little bit more, it's something that's not really going to connect to you right now. It's not something that's going to really bring you value right now. The thing that will help you the most is being somewhere that's totally open, which of course an invisible staircase would require like this leap of faith and like, you know, sort of like a trusting that there will be a next step, but just that it will sort of show itself when it's time. So I think that openness is like the biggest thing that you can focus on right now. And of course, openness through creativity.
Okay. Carolyn, I'm gonna go ahead and tap in. This is for a scan, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Okay, so what I've been shown is your meridians, specifically like flowing from your crown all the way through your arms and your hands. Um, in the meridians, it feels like the life force energy is being kind of like kind of slowed down around the shoulder areas, but it flows correctly down through the abdomen all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. But the arms are the ones that are having a little bit of issue, kind of like a slow down of energy. This has a lot to do with you not being able to use your healing hands. Like I keep hearing healing hands are not being used, because you're being limited at this time with using that. Your touch, when you touch someone, it actually helps them. What you do is this is the way that you heal, is by touch. When you put like your physical hand on someone, it actually helps them become more reassured, more stable. And a lot of people have kind of like this perception of you as being a miracle worker. Like you just make them feel better. Like as soon as you are like, how are you, or give them a hug or things like that. So your arms are kind of like, you know, like the energy still flows, but it's a little bit slower than the rest of your body. You might have a situation where you're having like a little bit of swelling or aches and pains. I feel like there's kind of like that's just manifesting because of the energy that is slowed down. I would definitely recommend doing things with your hands, like creating things, like maybe artwork with your hands, maybe painting, maybe drawing, maybe sculpting, or knitting, something like that that will help kind of like the flow of your arms and your healing hands to get out and into something, okay? I would also recommend, I don't know if you can, do kind of like exercises with your hands, with your arms. I wouldn't go as far as to make you do weightlifting or anything like that, but it's kind of like whatever you can tolerate at this time. But it feels like there's so much love that you are spilling out through your hands that it has to go somewhere, okay? So much healing light as well, okay? So that's what I'm picking up for you, Carolyn.
And now we have Robert.
Nice. Also a scan.
This one's a channeled reading.
Cool.
Go ahead, Sagittarius.
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just randomly picking.
Director Jax.
Right? He needs to keep us in line.
I'm the cardinal conductor of this train.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo woo, all aboard the reading train to Psychic Town.
So it's
Oh.
Robert, you said, right?
Robert, yeah.
Spirit, is that the spiritual gorilla guy, or who is that?
That's
No one knows
gorilla.
for sure. Many things.
I see here, by the way. All right, so let's see, channeled message. Determination. I keep hearing determination. Using your abilities in a way that moves you forward. It's kind of like what they're showing me is like you sitting down, but your hands are moving, your legs are moving, and your mind is continuously like thinking. But you're still sitting, so it looks like you're not doing anything, right? But you really are. And so a lot of the like your spirit guides are kind of showing your like determination to move forward, meaning that you are determined to succeed in your goals that you've set, but you also have to implement your those things, the way that your mind is wired, the things that you manufacture in your thoughts, and the way that they come out into the world through self-expression, or even through your planning phases. Like when you have a goal in mind and you start to like, you're, you know, like they're showing kind of like clockwork, like they're showing like the like gears turning and things like that. One gear turns, another one turns, and another one turns, and like continuously thinking of ideas and how that's going to look, or how this will be, and how this is going to feel, things like that, because you are definitely at the phase of manifestation where you're thinking about what you want, but now it's about determining whether or not you want to implement it into your reality. Okay, so what I'm hearing is like determination is the key, making sure that you, when you do have an idea, continue to move forward with the same idea until it is actually manifested. Okay, until it takes root in reality. Another thing is with your ability to manifest is it's kind of like a belief that you can create the world that you want. It has to be very strong within you. It has to be like a combination of the earth energy and the fire energy. Okay, like where you hone in both of these energies, because you have a lot of air and a lot of water energy, but you have to implement all the elements together in order for you to create what you desire. Okay, because everything that you set your mind to has to succeed, because you get this feeling of like you determine your success based on what is manifested. Okay, like what is in the material. And so your guides are just like, just continue to do that, continue to work on everything that you want, but one thing at a time will help, instead of going from this project to this project to this project to this project. Because everything that you're thinking of, everything that you're downloading is gonna manifest eventually. So it's kind of like, just take your time. All right, so that's what I got.
The last thing you said was about manifesting, right? On time.
Yeah.
Which is oddly very on point with what I was picking up as far as nailing an instant manifestation ability that culminates. It's like I sense very clear 4 years, like you've learned 4 pillars, like maybe you learned about one area for a few years or months, and then you learned about, let's just say the 4 is like 4 different elements, but they don't have to be the 4 elements. And now that you understand all of them, you know how to synthesize them to where what used to take you 30 minutes, you do in an instant. And this is going to revolutionize everything you do. That's what I got for you.
Yeah, and what I got was like this, it was like a divine confirmation, or it's supposed to be like validation, where it's like, just so you know, this is a test of strength right now. Like this is absolutely a test where it's like, you do have to just keep pushing. It's not hopeless just because it feels impossible. Like it's not something that you're being set up for failure. Like there is a success at the end of this road that you're on right now. It feels like there's just invisible wall after invisible wall after invisible wall. But the whole point is that by the time you've pushed through all of them, you're willing to finally push through that one that's made of titanium. And by then there will be no wall, and you'll already be strong enough to do that. And so ironically, it's like you being prepared for everything makes you so strong you don't really have to fight anything, you know? So that's what it feels like right now.
Wow.
He said he's a Capricorn and Aries.
Oh, there you go. Yep. There we go. Break through the wall and break through the wall and break through the, yeah, that makes sense.
Keep going. Determination.
Forever and ever. This is probably like the one day where you don't have like 1,000 like volts of like intensity like ready to push through, and you're like, I must be like really low in energy. It's like, no, this is normal.
Who's next, you guys?
Well, that's a great question, Ari, and the answer to your question is
Rob. Oh, we could do Maxine, or we can do
yeah, let's do Maxine. Maxine apparently was here. I never saw her comments when we were asking in the beginning, but it might have been an issue.
Right at the beginning, but after that, I haven't.
Oh no, Maxine, there is worries. I'm going to intentionally worry about this now. I'm going to worry about it later tonight. I'm going to set some time aside and schedule some worrying. It's too late. The worrying's already begun. But
yes, indeed.
Robert,
yeah,
scream it out to the universe.
that's right. That is right.
My will be done.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Capricorns are like Highlanders in that movie. It's like, there can only be one.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's funny because like it's been consistent with almost every Capricorn or Capricorn rising I know. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm not a Capricorn because then you get even like I'd be on your list.
Cutting you fucking down, man.
Yeah. So next is
Hi guys,
God. Oh, so Maxine energy scan. So Michael, go ahead. You're first.
That was nice. Maxine.
Oh,
What's up, Mish? All right. That's so badass. Okay. Maxine, please let me know if this is accurate for you. But I got this like really crimson red around your aura. And it's like a I wish a bitch would defense system. Like any type of negative energy gets completely zapped, and up until now it's been very much so defensive in the sense where it's played like a defense mode attribute. And this doesn't mean like it's impervious to feeling negative emotions, but like any impure vibrations that's around your aura gets completely like zapped. And this can, and if people can't see it, it could cause other people around you to act really weird. Like if someone has impure energy, they're gonna act super weird around you because they're being zapped for all it is that they're worth, until only their pure energy is left. And you may not even be aware of like it, like even people who in the extreme case, I'm not going to say this happened to you, but if someone wished you death, like they're going to die. And this is where like with these awakenings, it's shifting from a defense mode to attack mode, to where now you can direct this energy, and this may really open up like an exorcist path for you. So this is the second like path energy I'm getting once again. But I don't, once again, it's crimson red, but I don't get like a fearful negative energy. I actually get like an upbeat, adventurous, fun energy.
Yeah.
Because it opens, after this is purified, it opens the place for people's inner child to open up their heart and have fun. A lot of people's inner childs are haunted by negative spirits or have been, you know, like traumatized and molested. So like you clear that energy and it actually allows them to love again, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's funny because like for me, it's like using what you have is the big thing right now. It's almost like you're surrounded by like these ancient magical artifacts. You know, you have like the Holy Grail, which will give you youth, or you have like the ring from Lord of the Rings, which will make you invisible or whatever. But it's like now's the time to start using all of these things. There might be this illusion right now where you have to go find some other ancient artifact or like have some other skill or some other thing that you feel you have mastered, but using all the ones that you've already mastered and connected to is going to be hugely beneficial for you right now. Using all of the resources that you have, and it's very forward, just like Michael was saying, how it's like this crimson red energy. It's almost like a positive kind of aggression, almost like a positive adventure energy. That's what I feel too. I feel that you're going to have to definitely do battle, but not in the ways you're expecting. And it's definitely not going to be you as the underdog. You don't feel like an underdog with this energy. You feel like very like, it's like heroic, you know? So yeah, that's what I get.
Okay, Maxine. Okay, so I'm being shown your lymphatic system. I'm not sure if you're draining or you're kind of like having like kind of like symptoms of like possibly like needing to detox. Kind of like there seems to be like swelling as well, kind of like The lymphatic system relies a lot, majority of the time, in the digestion, that like our digestion tract. Okay, it feels like the food that you're eating might be triggering swelling in some of your lymph nodes. Okay, I feel like this is kind of like you detoxing. This is kind of like it's manifesting in a detox, detoxing emotionally as well as physically. So it's kind of manifesting in that way. You might be having like sinuses that might be flaring up. You might be feeling like ickiness, kind of like, oh, I'm like sweaty. You might be feeling kind of like just tenderness around, especially like around like underneath your arms, like in the armpit area and like the breast area, kind of like on the sides right there. It feels like you have your body is preparing you to release a lot of toxins. It's preparing you because you physically, kind of like mentally speaking, you're preparing yourself to release a lot of toxic energy from people around you. Okay, or maybe you are like, okay, I'm saying bye to these people, like you're detoxing your relationships as well. So it's manifesting in that way. It's kind of like a sense, I feel like a sense of you having like this big sigh of relief, because you're finding like, you know what, I'm finding out that this person is not who they're supposed to be. They don't have my back, and that's good that I found this out now, so then I could just say deuces, and I'm detoxing them. You know, I'm removing them out of my life. And so because of that, you're going to be feeling a lot of systemic inflammation and things like that, because it's going to manifest in a physical way. Okay. And so again, it feels like it's a seasonal thing too. Like maybe I'm sure if you have allergies, but it feels very kind of like everything right here is being kind of like itchiness or dryness of your eyes, as well as even kind of like sinuses as well, like drippages and stuff like that. So that's what I'm seeing. You're detoxing your relationships, removing those who are toxic. You're detoxing physically and emotionally as well. Okay, it's like a purge thing, and that's manifesting, which is a good thing, because after it's all said and done, everything is going to be completely different in your life. You're going to know exactly who belongs in there and who was just trying to ride off on your coattails. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Maxine.
Boom.
Beautiful. And we're going to be on here for about 15 more minutes, and we've got, let's see, we've got Melanie, Alexandria, Zach, Gisette, and Kim. So Gisette and Kim are both here, and I want to give Melanie and Zach just a second to say if they're here as well, or Alexandria, and that way we can just make sure we get to everyone who is here on the live.
I'm burpy.
You what?
I'm looking at you, Peace Dealer. What did you eat?
You mean what am I about to eat?
I'm burpy.
Maybe you're in the future, because food's on the way.
Oh man. Is it Popeyes?
It is some Japanese fried chicken.
Because I thought fried chicken.
What by chance is Japanese fried chicken?
So it's katsu chicken.
Karaage.
Oh,
Karaage.
Okay.
Yeah. I recently found out about it. It's my new bae.
It's good.
But I'm going on this organic diet after that.
After this,
Oh my God.
Oh goodness.
And then we're gonna document it. It's gonna be amazing.
I think, oh, you're right. I think Melanie is a divine moon mermaid.
Oh, that makes sense. You mix around the letters, it spells Melanie. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly the sound to make. Let's see. So it looks like we have Melanie next with the channeled reading.
Jax, you want to get it out first?
No, you first.
Oh, touche.
Yeah.
So, Melody, you are the oracle, the one, the god, and the goddess right now. You seem to be like in your like you're not playing all those archetypes ultimately, right? But you seem to be in this like production right now where you're having to fulfill all these archetypes relatively in your world, almost as if you're defining what it means so that other people can eventually fill that space for you. But the main purpose of me saying all that is that your words are touching people at the deepest soul level. The vision I had is that you are this very powerful goddess, and your human vessel is the high priestess of the greater goddess essence of you. And it's like your human vessel is the the messenger of this goddess essence, like saying the words through your throat chakra to really administer and minister to people. So yeah, just know there's extra juju behind your words. It's like they're like extra. You could literally just be like tuna sandwich, and it will touch someone like so deeply. So just in case you know people
Yeah.
have crazy.
Yeah.
How did you know I like tuna? I just
Well, you guys, I think we're done with the rest of the readings. I think that just basically summed up life itself. And
That's it.
what I was going to say wasn't quite that. I was going to say that one of the energies you're going to be feeling a lot of is about things from your past coming back up. And there's going to be part of you that says, well, that was just a mistake, or this was just a situation where I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so I don't need to worry about, bringing that up again. I don't need to bring up something from the past. And it's like, well, it's definitely good not to dwell on something from the past, but it's equally bad if you're avoiding something from the past, So it's like, there's going to be stuff that's coming up, and it feels like a few of them are through the vehicle of a person. Like it'll be like a few different people in your life that either come from the past or they bring up subjects that were from, like a decade ago. And so it's just really important that you face it, so you can move on from it, that you don't dwell on it, of course, but you also don't avoid it. And it feels like it's going to be all about balance.
All right.
Now it's Ari's turn.
My turn.
And Brittany just got a scan.
I could see a tuna sandwich in your future. All right. So so what I'm being shown is like this lake, and it's kind of like that Arthurian story with the Lady of the Lake coming up with the sword, Excalibur and stuff like that. It feels like the sword represents you having to cut ties with certain people, especially kind of like those who are unworthy of your time, of your thoughts, of your love. It feels like it's like a cycle that you're going through. People that are going to come into your life are going to remind you of people from the past, and now you're being afforded the opportunity to end the cycle or cut that tie, with the sword, with Excalibur's sword of truth, and justice. And so what I'm being told is kind of like, make sure that if you do see the red flags, catch them, talk about them before they, fester or they get worse, okay? Before the relationship gets predictably worse, okay? So it feels like there is going to be a lot of that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to remind you of past experiences with other people. So it's a matter of kind of like a way for you to experience the energy once more, but with more clarity, so that you know exactly what to do with that, okay? You're choosing it for yourself, then you're proving it to yourself that you have the ability to move forward without having something like that happen again, okay? So that's what I have for you.
Perfect. We have, I think, 5 minutes left, so we have room for at least two more, if not one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to do Gisette. Gisette has a channeled reading. We could do Gisette's, and we can also see who is next on the list.
Zach was next too, I think.
Oh, I
Oh,
had
never mind.
Alexandria before Zach, but
My bad. I wasn't looking at the list.
um,
I was looking at something else.
so let's do Alexandria and Gisette, and then what we'll do is next time we'll start off with, and I don't know if you and Ari are available, but we can do a quick live in order to finish these up within the next day or two.
I could do it
I'd be
tomorrow.
happy to do that
I
if
could
you
do that.
guys' schedules allow that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Alexandria and Gisette, and then we'll do Zach, Kim, Mahala, and Brittany within the next day or two.
Jax, we could do that on your channel too.
I'm down. I am super down.
Perfect.
Um,
So Alexandria and Gisette. Did
Okay.
they got the channeled readings or the two?
Alexandria has such a cool name. It's like one of my favorite names of all time. It's so cool sounding.
Yeah.
Energy scan, and then we have Gisette has a channeled reading.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so Alexandria.
Yeah, and Ari has to go first in this one.
Oh,
Mike's
go ahead, Ari.
it.
Oh,
He's already taking it.
Alexandria, I felt your heart chakra very, or I won't say it was yours, but I felt mine like expand. So this is like a double-edged sword. So I feel like your heart chakra is expanding to facilitate like unions for other people. So you're not getting people together, but you're opening people's hearts. So any blocks that they had, the let's just say you're like ecstasy for people right now, or you're like a shot of liquor, like you're gonna uninhibit people. So around your presence, and it could be the way you communicate, it could be a disarming factor of your presence, but like people are just gonna be more open. Now the double-edged sword here is it can cause people to be into you and almost feel like you're coming out to them when you're not, like because they're going to be, sometimes some people be like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like this around other people, maybe we're soulmates. And you just got to put the hard curve, like it's almost as if like you're a love angel for people, but sometimes they fall in love with you and it's like, no, I was just opening your heart. You don't have to come to me. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure you're just in case you sense people less guarded around you. It's a good thing, but just be mindful. I'm complete.
Venusian energies, like drawing them in.
Oh, and Gisette actually got the 3 card. But anyways,
Okay.
As far as Alexandria, so Ari, you are next.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, it's just you guys just handed me this power for some reason that I'm the conductor of this. I'm like, okay, I will get into this. Here we go.
Tell you what to do.
Yep.
That's
And it seems random, but that's because it is. I am just randomly selecting you with no reasons. So, anyways, go ahead.
all right. So let's see. So I keep hearing give and you shall receive. And of course I did feel like your heart space as well. There seems to be like a situation from the past that has kind of diverted your attention. It feels like you are trying to kind of like weather the storm with this situation. It does feel like you have a lot of love to give, and you are kind of like evaluating it in a way where like you're like, what went wrong? What can I prepare for the future if something like this arises? And what can I learn from the past? So there's a lot of contemplation when it comes to your love energy, how you are giving it to people and how you are receiving it. Okay. I feel like you're doing a better job at receiving now because you have finally realized, you know what, this is just another lesson that I had to learn in order for me to to understand that I'm a being of love, and therefore I will attract a lot of people who want that love, or desire it, because they themselves are not full, because they think themselves not to be lovable or a loving person. And so it feels like there's just a lot of that you've attracted, and it's like, I wouldn't call them broken people, as more like just not really self-aware, okay, when it comes to the love that the unconditional love that's already within them. Okay, so just be mindful of that you will, like Mike said, you are attracting people like that, but you have to help them be more self-aware that, hey, they don't need to get anything from you. It's more like they have to release or understand their own light or their own unconditional love, that they have access to at any time. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
Yeah, what I've got is definitely also in the form of people being a huge part of this. It feels like you're gonna finally be understood. Like because for so much time you have some people that they're able to kind of like meet you on your level, and they're able to, it's like a nice or whatever, it's like an okay connection. But it feels like a majority of the time you don't actually feel like genuinely deeply understood by most people. Like it's almost like they're only trying to understand to about your surface level. And it feels like that validation you're going to get from like 3 or 4 new people that are in your life who suddenly really understand you, like deeply understand you. They're able to kind of meet you on that level. It's almost going to probably feel a little bit suspicious, or like, what's the cause of this? Like, what's going on? Like, is this for real? Are they just saying what I want to hear? But it feels like if you kind of like let yourself stay open and vulnerable for that, you let these new people in, then it's actually like a really powerful connection. So just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for these other people. Just be open-hearted to it, because it feels like that's one of the biggest magic surges that ever happens in your life, is to be truly validated by people that really can get you,
And finally, we have Gisette.
Gisette, and we've got 3 card reading. Where did I put my cards?
They're right there.
Actually, they were. As soon as I looked by my keyboard, I'm like, they're under it. Oh, hey, Maxine. We did yours.
Yeah.
So just set. Let's take a look.
Boom. 3 cards, right?
Question, or she's just
Yep. 3 cards.
3 cards.
3 cards, general.
General.
So, what I've got first and foremost. So we're starting off with Queen of Cups. So Gisette, be very careful about what it is you're ingesting right now emotionally. What energies you're taking it from other people, because it feels like, of course, empathy is always like a very positive trait. It's a very good thing. But at the same time, there's a time where you have to keep your own boundaries up. You have to keep your own shield up in a way, like metaphorically speaking. The Queen of Cups is saying that there's going to be some people in your life that are really trying to almost like take you down this very negative self-talk path, a very negative path about gossiping with other people, about how, negative events, negative energies. And essentially the Queen of Cups understands that if that water is being served, then she's not going to drink it. She's just going to walk away somewhere else. You don't have to convince anyone else not to pour the poisonous water, or not to drink it themselves. Obviously, it'd be good if they didn't, but you yourself do not have to drink it. You can walk away from that. By doing that, it opens you up to the King of Swords, and it opens you up to this clarity where you're able to not only make good decisions right now in your life, but to make like the best decisions you've ever made, and to do so with a ton of foresight, to do so through objectivity, to do so in a way where it's like, it kind of like sets this interesting new tone for your own life, both in career path as well as just life path in general. and inspiring other people to sort of step into who they really are, their king or queenship themselves. And then Page of Swords says, because of that, you're finally able to face a really difficult truth. Because there's a difficult truth that feels like it's almost been in the back of your mind for a while. You've seen glimpses of it for a while now. And as it's coming up, you won't be able to avoid it as the King of Swords. The moment that you become that King of Swords archetype, the Page of Swords will just arrive to deliver a message. And that's like your subconscious is like, hey, there's this thing you've kind of had buried for a long time. Can you deal with this? And it feels like it'll be time. And if you don't, step away as the Queen of Cups and step into the King of Swords, then this Page of Swords might not be able to like make it forward into your consciousness. And that would hold you back from the life that you deserve and the true progress that you deserve. So that's what I'm picking up for you.
Okay, I'll go after you.
Okay. So what I got for you is the Four of Cups. So having to kind of reevaluate. It feels like there's a situation in your life where you're kind of looking at it sideways now. You're kind of like, what's this gonna, like, how's this gonna turn out? It feels like you are questioning certain people and your devotion to them. It feels like there's definitely a chance for you to contemplate on that further, seeing kind of like doing a review of their actions, of their words, how they treated you, how they treat other people, and all that stuff, right? Because eventually you're going to have to choose whether or not they belong in your life. And so I got the Hangman for you too. It's kind of like a time of contemplation, a time of like making sure that like you have all of the answers that you need, right? You have all the wisdom, you have all the knowledge about these people, but you're still kind of reserved, or you're kind of like on the fence of whether or not you should continue on with the relationship or you should actually confront them about their behavior. Especially their recent behavior towards you, what you found out by others. And it's a lot of gossip, like Jack said, there's a lot of gossiping going on, okay? There's a lot of hearsay. And so it's really, really important for you to just get all the facts straight. You already know exactly what they are, but now it's time for you to see how you're gonna maneuver it into conversation, okay? Because you have to become the King of Cups. You are empathetic, but you're also really much understanding and knowledgeable of what direction you want to take. The King of Cups is really, really open, but also won't take any shit from anyone, okay? They're very Scorpio-like. Like they understand at a deeper level what's really going on, even though they can let on in this facade of like, I don't know what's going on, you know? And so it's kind of like it's not like you laid a trap or anything like that. It's more like they just fell into this perception of you that they thought that they can take advantage of you, but now they're realizing that that's not going to happen. All right. So that's what I got for you.
And finally, just set the underlying theme we have for you is Two of Pentacles. This is Jupiter and Capricorn. Jupiter and Capricorn is establishing not only your productivity, but like your pivot point and how you're going to multiply your income, play with your money. But this is really as underlying theme. No matter what happens, just keep it moving, especially if you're juggling different things. If you drop a ball, just don't stop. Things are going to really change really quickly for you too. You're coming with the Eight of Wands, and at current you're transforming. So I feel like this King of Wands is perhaps somebody who could oversee creative projects you're undergoing, someone who you might be working for, and your relationship with this individual is not only transforming, you also are embodying archetypes of this death card. So you might be this transformative force where with the snap of your fingers you're changing people's lives. And yeah, that's I'm gonna pull another card because the Queen of Wands came out, and now we have like this King and Queen dynamic. So this could be you opening something passionate with a partner as well. Okay, so one moment, I'll be right back.
And so for today, for anyone that, oh wait, hold on. I think Michael's actually not done with his reading yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
he has to grab his food or something. I'm not sure.
We're just doing an intermission right now. We're just doing a little. Michael's just talking with the FBI. Just having a quick chat with them. Okay,
You guys.
we're good. We covered for you. You said it was the FBI.
It was. They keep
Yeah.
on trying to cover.
I knew you were getting your freaking fried chicken.
Yep.
Yep.
I was like, I taste it.
You burped for me. Thank you.
Yes.
It's that good. Well, you guys stay blessed as always. This is another awesome episode. We'll make sure we get to the other ones really soon too.
Yeah, and if possible, maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, I could.
The
Totally
latest, yeah.
We could do Tuesday, you guys. So anyone that we did not get to today, we will work with you on Tuesday, and it'll be awesome.
All right.
You guys stay blessed as always.
Bye. Love you guys.